Alright, we're here at K&K Gaming with Frankie Barr, who just got top 4 at the Raleigh case tournament. And what'd you play today?
Mecha Frieza. I don't know. Why would you not play anything else? If you don't know what he does for some reason. Front side, you can take a life, and it'll reduce the cost of one of your extra cards by 1. If it goes below 1, then it's free. The back side is the same thing, except it'll reduce it by 2 now instead. So, like, Objection becomes 0, March of the Great Apes becomes 2, stuff like that. Cell Absorption becomes 2, and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, that's leader. We played Mecha Saiyans, which is honestly, I think, is better than Apes. Apes are just a lot more easy. They're a lot more accessible as well. It's very cheap compared to, like, having to buy Kabbas, Kales, and Khalifas. But I think this deck is better, but I think it does take a lot of, like, matchup knowledge to know how to actually beat the Mecha Ape deck, because it's not an easy deck to beat at all. But I think if you play the deck correctly, then it is better than Mecha Apes. So Saiyan package, 4 Kabbas, only 3 of these guys. People were asking me why I didn't play 4, and it's mostly because once you're like at like less than 4 or less health, like you don't want to put this card on board. It's either energy or combos at that point. So like because the deck doesn't play blue cards really, like it does, but it only plays like free blue cards, so you're not really playing objections. So you don't have all of that. You don't have like typically like the 11 extra cards that like something like Apes would have to be able to awaken yourself turn 1. So like this is a card that gets you a little closer, but you don't need to max out on it. And then finishing up that package is 4 KOs for obvious reasons. 3 of Super Saiyan Gotenks. This card was like, I just like this card a lot, but it wasn't like super good. I sided it out a lot. Like the only time, like I played it mostly because I wanted to play this card like on curve on turn 5, and then followed up with Time Overseeing Power Trunks, the new Black SR from Crossworlds. But he became energy a lot, and he got sided out most games. Because you really like don't get to 5 energy easily. Games are like ending by then, so he was okay. Not a terrible card. Like I'll probably cut him, but you can also play him. 3 Terrasice. A lot of Bliss were playing 4. People also asked me why I played 3. Its card's insane actually. But I wanted to play the hand combo Frieza for the Mecha Saiyan matchups and like those more aggressive matchups. So I needed to find space for them, and this card is not a card you want to hard cast typically. You usually just want to Shigeshin for free. So I felt that like putting him at 3 would be fine. This guy really is like good at extending plays. Like when you Shigesh him in, you get him plus 2 tokens that are 10k power, and then they have their 0-5k combos, which a lot of tokens don't have right now because we don't have a lot of token cards. So he really lets you get your damage numbers up there. And when you play him for free, like he's 15k, so he's relevant pressure when you're like trying to go for game. He can help you get cards out of their hands, and like essentially he can be a free 25k because you can just combo with your 2 tokens, or if you need to combo up big like to protect yourself, you should get this guy in, get your 2 tokens. Now you're looking at a 25k for playing 2 cards. It's pretty good. More Saiyan cards. 4 of the Bridge to Future. This card's really good. It's nice like to have your turn 1 plays because you really don't do anything else turn 1 besides like play 1 to 3 extra cards. So having him, he helps you find like cards you need. Like he can grab you these guys, he can grab you pretty much anything in your deck, which is good. Because you have to find this guy. Like you have to play this guy on turn 2, so he helps you get to that as well. And he hits Shigesh, so that's obviously broken. 2 Implaceable Trunks. This guy's from set 1. My teammate Alex Grant put me onto this. You guys should remember him from the Charlotte regional with the Champa deck. So when you evolve into this guy, you get to take a card from your discard pile and add it back to your hand. So like basically, and he's a double strike, so that's relevant damage. Like the deck plays a lot. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, it plays a lot like Pendulums. It feels like, whereas you can just like put so many cards on board for no reason, and like kind of in an unfair manner. So like what you do is you can pressure with Shigesh while you have the bridge on board. So you pressure and put your Shigesh and like put another card in for free, like a Terrasithe or Kale or things like that. And then for 3 you evolve into this guy, get the Shigesh back, and then attack and Shigesh again and get more free cards. So like basically the concept of this deck is just looping your Shigeshes and continuously getting them back. So he's one of the ways you do that. And then you have this guy. Basically he's this card but Overrealm, so you cast him for 2 and you Overrealm 4, and then you get to add one of your reward cards back to your hand. So like after you've done your Shigesh, play this guy, warp the Shigesh, add the Shigesh back, Shigesh play another free card. So like Like, really, this is like Shigesh the deck. Like, it's cards that tutor around Shigesh and play with Shigesh well, and, like, Shigesh is broke. So there's no reason to, like, not play around that card. These are the blue cards I played. 3 Mecha. Obviously, like, doesn't really count as a blue card because you don't usually need blue mana for anything. Like, your blue cards you just play for free. So Mecha to help you get there early. 4 Senzu Bean so you can extend plays and also protect yourself in certain matchups. And 3 Coercions. I was gonna max out, but then I wanted to play the hand Frieza, so like how I fit the 2 combo Friezas in was I cut this to 3 and cut the Terra Scythe to 3. And then here's the 2 destructive occupations we were talking about. I wanted to play 3, but I couldn't find room, and then I just sided the other 2, so the 2 were fine. It's really good in the Max Saiyan matchup. That's why I wanted to play this card. I guess we should talk about that. I wanted to play this for the Max Saiyan matchup, because when you go first, instead of playing like Bridge turn 1, you just play your extra cards, leave your energy up, and then they go for their Max Saiyan crit swing, or they go for combo double strike, and then you just combo this card in and protect. And now you have board presence that they don't have because they don't keep a strong board because they just overroam every turn and those cards warp themselves. And then 2 Bloodlust. I cut this down from 3. I sided this out like almost every game. It's not like super strong in Mass Saiyan matchup. It's not super good in Mecha Apes matchup. So like, there's not a lot of matchups where this card's like super powerful right now. Obviously for Shigesh. This is like why this like deck's so good. Because you just play everything for free. Like, it literally just feels like you're playing Pendulums. For Planet Vegetas. I felt it was better to max out on this than the Mechas, because you can just search whatever you want. Like, it literally gets you, like, any card in your deck besides Super Saiyan Gotenks, which is insane. And you, like, net a card off your life for it as well. And then the last 3 cards were 3 Explosive Spirits. You don't need to max out on this card. 3's fine, because you're Shigeshing in, like, so many other cards. Side deck, we can talk about the side deck a little bit. I wasn't super happy with my side deck, but like also the cards that I did side in were like very good. So I sided the other 2 of these for the Mass Saiyan matchups and like other aggro matchups that do similar things. It's just, you want this card in your opening hand against them so that you can just combo and protect yourself on that first turn, and really, you have to slow roll the match. So this helps you slow roll that match. The 3rd Bloodlust, I never sided this card in. The Double Crushers, I didn't side this in either. It's like good against Mass Saiyan, but I just felt like I didn't need to side it in, and it's not good against Apes because Planet Vegeta's broke. So I never sided that card in. I sided this in once against the Mecha 8 matchup. I didn't like it. I thought I would like it, but it didn't do anything. I never sided it in again after that, and that was round 2. So this was the best card in the side deck. Android 16. It's possible you could cut Super Saiyan Gotenks and play this card instead, because this card's really strong. It's really good in the Mass Saiyan matchup. It's good against Apes because the only way they can pop it is with Explosive Spirit. And if they're popping this with Explosive Spirit, then that means they don't have a Shigesh Explosive Spirit to stop your push, hopefully. So he's a card that's possibly could go on the main board. The Haru-Harus were okay. Like, the best thing I think I did with them was I played this turn 3. I think it was just turn 3. He didn't Bloodlust it, and then we just played this guy to protect. So now I have a crit that I can pressure them with, and then I have a Revenge blocker that stands back up so that I can just continuously pressure them with Haru-Haru. Man, the last card was Mass Saiyan. He also probably should have main boarded, but that's okay. He's fine in the sideboard, but I would probably main board this guy next time. And that's pretty much it. The deck's really good. I think it's better than Mecha Saiyan, or not the. I think it's better than Mecha Apes. But it really just comes down to playing the matchup correctly, and if they like go off turn 1 and you kind of like get in the mindset to where I can't come back from this because they got so far ahead of me, it makes the matchup a lot harder to win. But you can kind of outplay the deck because you can just put so much pressure, and like when they're doing all that, they're putting themselves down to 2 or 1 life, and you can attack like probably 8 times in a turn, which is like nuts. But it really comes down to matchup knowledge with that. But that's really it. I think this is the best deck. Maybe not my build. I like my build. There's not a lot I would change. Probably cut Super Saiyan Gotenks, and maybe Bloodlust, because Bloodlust seems subpar. If something comes back in the meta that makes it better, then we would put it back in, but pretty much, I really liked it.
Alright, well, thanks for deck profile, and hope to see more from you in the future.